Hello, welcome to Kenty Prime Time. Paul Kent here again with Johnny Elias, and today we've got a very special guest. He's been in the news a little bit lately, not for good reasons, but we're here to find out what's going on with Connor Tracey. Thanks, mate, for coming along.
No worries, Kenty. Thanks for having me.
So, mate, you're look, Bulldogs have been flying, but let's talk about you first. I think it's the weirdest injury I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is a weird one. It probably sounded worse than it was, to be honest. I just sort of, it was playing for a month or so with like a little abdomen tear.
Yeah.
And then, in the Manly game, I made a tackle and tore it more.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad. And then I was in bed just laying there after the game, and there's this real sharp pain.
Yeah.
So what happened was an artery had like burst and like was bleeding into my stomach.
Arteries are bad too.
Yeah.
Like, when I heard, like, can you just the technicality? What's the actual name of the injury you've got?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I think Gus tweeted it.
Yeah.
So I think Gus knows. Yeah.
But when I heard artery in that, I thought, oh, that's not good, because bleeding arteries are generally profuse bleeding, aren't they?
Yeah, so why I think it sounds worse, I think it's a tiny artery that you got a lot in your abdomen. So one of them, when I tore the muscle, sort of just like split, and then it was just bleeding into my stomach. So I had like this big ball, and I looked down, I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Wow.
So I took myself to
like
hospital.
just a ball of blood.
Ball of blood. But yeah, I was worried it was going to be like, it could be a hernia. So we went to hospital, and the good news was it wasn't. So yeah, it's just pretty much rest. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know our physio, Andrew Fletcher. He was, because he's a mad Bulldog supporter. He was talking about it the other day. He's never heard it. It's not common, that injury, and you don't know when you're coming back.
Yeah, it's uncommon.
It's very uncommon, and the time frames could be 4 weeks, could be 8 weeks, could be rest of the season. That's what he told me anyway. What's the physio told you?
No, it's good. I'll be out for a few more weeks, so not too long. It's already feeling better.
Yeah.
It's basically a muscle tear, and the bleeding's acting like a bruise, like a hematoma sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So from that point,
the blood just got to go away, but it's already gotten better. So you just got to wait for the blood to sort of settle down.
And how painful was it?
It was very, it was like this weird, like twitching, like sharp stabbing feeling.
Yeah.
Which was obviously the blood was just bleeding into my stomach.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is not good.
Bleeding,
I didn't want to be dramatic, but I'm like, to my girlfriend, like, oh, I think I'm in trouble here, right? Like, I think we've got to go to hospital.
She must have turned pale when she saw it.
Yeah, no, she was freaking out. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to concern you, but I think I'm in a bit of dramas here.
Yeah. And the early pain though, like my understanding is you could hardly move.
Yeah, so that night in hospital was bad, and then once the bleeding stopped, it was all right. Like it was sort of, I could feel when it stopped, like bleeding, and then ever since it's been slowly getting better.
You on medication?
Did they have to? Did they suck the blood out, or what?
No, they can do that, but they said you're better off just leaving it and letting your body sort of get rid of it naturally. Okay. But yeah, it's a weird injury. I've had a few weird injuries, but it's probably up there.
That's up there with the.
Are you on medication at all, Connor?
No, I'm not.
No. Oh, that's good.
Sort of just got to let the tear rehab the tear like a normal calf or whatever.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, it's not too bad.
So when do you start training?
I ran yesterday for the first
really?
time, and it was all right. So yeah, I won't miss too many more games.
Pushing it.
Yeah.
So the Dogs have. You've been part of the whole Bulldog revolution, which sort of, I think it's one of the fascinating stories in rugby league. Like, this is one of those ones that, if it ends the right way for the Bulldogs, it becomes a documentary. Given 4 years ago they were, or 4 years ago they were running last.
Yeah, you're
How
right.
quickly the club has turned it around, and it's really I think like almost like a manual for other clubs to look at and say, okay, well, what do we got to do? How do we get off the bottom of the table? Some teams have got no clue how to get up off the bottom of the table. You blokes have gone about it pretty quickly, and you're part of that revolution. Yeah,
no, it was pretty cool. For started 24, when obviously a lot of new players were there. I think I was one of about 10 players that Gus and Ciro brought in, and obviously we didn't know how it was going to go then, but we trusted in Ciro and Gus and what they were building, and it was sort of getting the right players into the building was a big step. And then obviously Ciro is, super smart footy mind, and what he's been able to do with us, and everyone's sort of bought in. So that's the main thing, is just getting the right people and then having the right system that sort of everyone can buy into.
So only a few years before you get there, the Bulldogs run last, and their roster is not pretty. How do they convince you to go there? Like, what you're playing at Cronulla?
Yeah.
Who are going, Cronulla are sort of perennially around the top 4, top 6, top 8. They're generally in the finals each year. They're building something themselves under Craig Fitzgibbon. How did they convince you that the move to Canterbury was going to be good for your career and good, and a chance of success?
Yeah, well, Ciro talks about that a bit. He says we all sort of took a chance on the club, and
Yeah.
it's true. But I feel like you sort of get a feel for different coaches, and
Yeah.
sort of looking at Ciro and what he did at Penrith with his defensive system, and yeah, sort of how he spoke and that. You knew he was sort of going to build something special, and a lot of the players already had kicks. Birdo were here,
Yeah.
Critter was coming, like
Yeah.
guys like Kurt Mann, all these guys that were coming. I just had a feeling, yeah, it was going to be something special building, and yeah, it's been good.
Did they talk much about the footy?
As in when they were recruiting me.
Yeah, like did they tell you about what they planned and how they were going to do it? Like, did they give you much insight, I suppose, into how the club was going to be rebuilt?
Yeah, sort of outlined his system, and yeah, it was pretty interesting meeting with him. But yeah, as I said, it was just getting the right people in, and just lots of the talk was about hard work and yeah, setting up the preseason that way. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Were you brought over as utility or fullback? Did they tell you you're going to play fullback?
Well, like I feel like the thing when you're signing, it's probably a bit different than you think. Is he just sort of says where it like doesn't promise you anything. You know what I mean? Like says you got to earn whatever position you play, which is it's really cool. And it's true. He's just about getting guys in the building that want to work hard and love their footy, and yeah, the positions sort of take care of themselves. And yeah, I sort of love that. I sort of saw it as an opportunity. There was obviously some good backs at the time at the Dogs, but yeah, I just thought I'll get in, work hard, and yeah, whatever happens.
Definitely done that, mate. Well done. Good on you.
So what was it like those early days, mate? Talk us through, like, you know, I've told this story before, and I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I remember talking to Josh Reynolds, and he was talking to me about how Ciraldo brought in this defensive system. He said, mate, we just can't get it. We don't know it, right? We can't do it. Under pressure, we forget it. Blokes, you know, are supposed to do this and I'll do that, and there's no cohesion. He said, but he said to me, when we get it, he said, you watch us take off, right? Now, fortunately for Josh, he hasn't stuck around long enough to see the fruits of it, right? But he did speak about it, and it's come to fruition. Like we're looking at Canterbury, and you know, at one point you're leading the table, you're sitting in third now. Like how difficult was that all that early coaching for you blokes to, I suppose, to cotton on to?
Yeah, like you said, it is. It's a lot to sort of to grasp when you're first starting it.
Yeah.
I'd say the thing about it is just the attention to detail. Like
Yeah.
a lot of teams
this.
train the same,
Yeah.
but it's just the tiny little like movement things. Like I'll give you an example, like just
Yeah.
how you get back to the line, like retreating and turning off like the 1 foot.
Yeah.
Like we'll just rep that 100 times a day. So it's like little things like that that are just like make the big picture. Just trying to save a second here and then get set early. So yeah, it's just little things like that. And then once everyone's sort of, we're learning the system, more reps we had at it, it's sort of, it's humming at the moment.
So treat me like a rugby league idiot. What do you mean by turning on 1 foot? Like how do you explain what that is? What's the little crucial part of that?
Like your turning mechanics when you're retreating to the line and you've got to get set for the next play.
Yep.
So the way you turn, if you turn inefficiently, you're going to not be able to touch and go and sort
Is
of
that
make
defense or attack?
in defense. Yeah.
Defense, okay.
So if you do a slow turn or you're not back quickly, the attack's going to come at you.
Yes.
So it's sort of how fast you can turn.
So you talk about like you go up in a line and you basically plant 1 foot,
retreat speed,
straight
come back, get
straight
set.
as opposed to some guys get up and they'll do like a slow turn, like so they can run back forwards and things like that.
Yeah, that's a little example of just like how good the attention to detail is. Just things like that of not doing a big loop. You see some middles do that. It's just real sort of precise defensive movements. Yeah,
because that impacts your I would say that your anaerobic capacity. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about saving that sort of second if you can,
Yeah, but it makes you work harder too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like the defensive system, it only works if you have fit guys in your team. So, you've sort of seen our forward pack is just unbelievably
it's
fit.
definitely working.
Yeah.
How much work do you do, like the extra did you do in that fitness area from the other clubs? Because you played at South, you played at Cronulla, now you're at Canterbury. So how much like difference would that be, Canterbury, from what you'd done previously?
Every preseason's hard, but the Bulldogs it's another level. It's long days, hard training, but you have to these days. The game's too fast and everyone's too good that if you're not training as hard as you can, you're not going to be fit on the field. So it's worth it in the end. Yeah.
You go.
No, I was going to ask him about Cameron. We know he's brilliant. He's brilliant. We know that. I want to know what he's like away from football.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's
tell us something about him.
I can't tell you about him. No, he's just sort of how he seems. He's a calm guy. He loves his family, and he's just a real easy guy to talk to. And
sense of humour.
Yep. Okay. Loves having a joke with the boys. Love the boys being tight, and just like loves his footy, like as we all sort of do, which is cool.
Paul touched on something good the other day, really good. Cameron coaches for today, and Phil Gill coaches for tomorrow, which I think is a great setup there. What's he like away from footy, Phil Gill?
No, he's good. He's obviously all the boys grow up listening to him, so he's a bit of a he's a real cool voice to listen to, and he comes in sometimes and has an input. And
Does he? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
all the boys are always listening. Like, cause he's a real smart rugby league mind. And
So when you say input, a bit about coaching.
yeah, he'll come in and tell us if he has an idea or something. And
Oh, okay. That's good to know,
everyone's
Paul.
on the edge of their seat listening
Yeah.
because he's such a powerful figure.
It's good to know because the other two never said that. Jacob Carraz and Reid Marnie never mentioned Phil Gill come in and have a chat with the players. Yeah, it's good to know.
I think he gets on the field. He gets on the field, and he's always done that since he took over as coaching director at the Roosters 23 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's always just, that frustrated coach in him still sees him want to come in and offer his 2 cents worth. Which,
why not?
We know where he's footy in like this. So
why not?
You're not going to argue with it, are you? Do you talk us so that when Canterbury you come into the club, it starts to have success. How does the vibe change in the club there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably midway through 24 last year we started getting some wins and playing good. And it was sort of, we believed in the system and we were working really hard at it. But when you get the results, it more sorts of just reinforces the system and reinforces what we're doing and that it's working. So, yeah, we've always enjoyed each other's company and it's always been good vibes. But when you have the wins, it definitely helps the club.
The players that are coming into the club, though, like talk us through some of that. What changes did they bring? Like Stephen Crichton, for example, I think he was a massive signing, and he's Canterbury got this great knack of, and they've been doing it since the 70s. Like you want to go back that far. Canterbury were a club struggling to find a way to win, struggling to have some sort of success. Peter Moore, who was running the club then, he goes out into the market and he gets Bob McCarthy, who South told him was too old to play, that he would, his best football was behind him. Bob McCarthy turns up at Canterbury, and Peter Moore told me this, so it's not a first-hand story. He said, look, he came to the club, and he said straight away he looked at the way we were doing things, and he changed things. And he said he taught us how to win, and he taught us what it took to win. So Bob McCarthy comes, the Mortimers are there, the Hugheses are all, but they all got the game plan, the path forward to how to actually win, how to turn effort into achievement, so to speak. And then, so that happens, and then through the 80s, they transition. Warren Ryan was able to bring players in. Canterbury have always been very good at just finding those players, and those people have an impact on the club. And Stephen Crichton is one of them. Like, I remember asking Ciraldo about him, and he said the great thing and this is before he started it. This is after they'd signed him, before last season began. He said what he does. He said he puts my voice out on the field. He said I've coached him since he was a kid. He said I've been with him for that long. In age group football, Ciraldo was coaching him. He said so the thing, he knows how I think, he knows what I want, and he knows how to say it. And he said the things I would say if I was on the field as coach, he said he's going to say, and it clearly appears that he's having that impact on you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, there was a good sort of saying that Critter's taught us how to win. Like he's taught us, all the boys, how to win, how to prepare. His level of detail to his training is like all the boys see it, and we know it works. And obviously Critter's had success. He's won 3 comps, so from day one come in, he was 24, 23, and like just having to learn off him, like it's just been huge. Like for such a young guy to have that sort of leadership qualities about him, it's really impressive.
So what sort of things you looking at there? Like give it just sort of if you can think through stuff you do at Canterbury, just as a little attention to detail things that the rest of us wouldn't see or wouldn't notice or probably don't think is important.
Or you watch a game, you sort of Critter's real good at like catch pass, for instance, right? Like he's got really good hands. He does that at training and nails every rep, and just like his focus on every rep, you can see it, just how much he values it. So it's sort of something that I look at like, and I'm like, I want to do that, like nail every rep. And we're just big believers of how you train is how you play, and just getting the reps. So the more reps we do, we know it's going to come out on game day. So you'll see us do a play on the weekend, like just a quick hands or whatever, and we've done that 20 times throughout the week. So that's sort of what Critter and Ciro it's just about getting the reps in the week, and it's going to come out in the field.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you
practice,
think back to your day, Johnny, right? Training was training, and basically the game was in such a development period when you were coming through. Like, that was the transition really from the olden day footy. Well, just get up and
5
no real
metres to
game.
the 10 metres, yeah.
Yeah, but the whole attitude to training was back then was before your time was you just went out and played footy. There was no real game plans. There was no like structure and attack. Yeah, a couple of blokes hit it up the middle. Yeah, 3 forwards hit it up, backs ball. That was essentially that was it. You know what I mean?
100%.
And then you went through that period of the game transitioning where it became a lot more science applied to the game. Whereas you look at where you're at now and where the game is, and the training sort of there's probably been a lag or probably in the training as well, because that attention to detail, which, and this is probably the anomaly, was asked for in the game, but not really applied at training. You know what I mean?
Where it is now.
It is now. Whereas
He's
the
practicing
guys are
everything
getting
you
it
do on
right.
the field, yeah. It's perfect practice now. Yeah, it is. The repetitions are so important. 100%. They're full-timers, Paul.
But it still gets me. Like, you look, I still see some players, and this fascinates me, don't know the rules. You know what I mean? For example, they'll go to do something and go for a quick tap, for example. The amount of times you see guys go for a quick tap when they can't go for a quick tap, the rules don't allow it. You know what I mean? Or they'll argue. You know what I mean?
That's fatigue as well.
But I just think, mate, it is a professional game. But some clubs are very good at it. Some clubs probably still aren't having that attention to detail.
It's a great, Connor. Do you get the coaching manual, the coaching rules before the? Do you know all the rules?
I know there'd be some obscure ones I might not know, but I'd say I know most of them. Yeah. But you're right. Some guys challenge things, and you're like,
"What do you challenge that for?"
It's not a challenge.
It's not a challenge.
The rules change every year, Paul. The rules change every year.
Oh yeah.
Are you up to date
You get
with
the
the rules?
updates, yeah.
But
So
you get the updates.
The ref sent
okay.
emails to Ciro, and he lets us know. For instance, the play the ball crackdown a few weeks ago.
Yes.
We'd find out things like that. Yeah.
Okay,
Which you've sort of got to
Because
stay ahead
So
of.
sometimes
you
I
guys
wonder.
got told about that. So.
Yeah, Paul and I wonder something. We watch a game and go, "Do they know the rules?" These players?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, that ended last weekend. The rules, the play the ball crackdown.
Yeah.
The amount of balls
They
just got
changed-
rolled through
yeah,
over the
oh.
weekend. They've closed their eyes to that one.
Oh, it's a classic.
But even things like attention to detail. How many times have you seen a guy catch the ball off a kick-off, catches it in goals, and then puts his foot over the dead ball line after he's caught it?
After he's caught it.
And like those little things can have a massive impact on a game. But they're the little things that get practice at training, and I
And that's a
imagine
momentum shift.
that's the
too.
attention to
Yeah.
detail that the good clubs are doing better than the poorer clubs, I imagine.
Yeah, 100%. It's like all those little things, like you said, like
Yeah.
effort and fitness are the big things, but it's all those little things and attention to detail, like you said, that it's going to win you the games in the end. It's all going to add up.
So take us through your week, okay? Like how hard, for people that don't know, and we're talking about the professional era now, like how much work are you putting in on the field? Training during the week, how much work do you actually do off the field, like video and stuff like that? Like, is it as intensive as we're led to believe? Like, if you talk us through, say you got a, let's go through a full week. Let's say you got a Sunday game, you work Monday to Sunday to prepare for the game. How does each day look there for you?
Yeah, so you normally have a few big days a week. Like especially every club's different, but at the Bulldogs on our big day, like 4 days before the game, we'll pretty much 8 till 5 will be at training. Yep. So doing video, field, gym.
So how does it work? You get there in the morning, 8 o'clock. What are you doing?
Meeting normally.
Yeah.
At 8 till
and what's
9
that
maybe.
meeting address?
That can be all sorts of different things. It's probably a review of the game this week because it's a short turnaround.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor as well, is how many days till the next game.
Yeah.
Sort of depends on your training. And then probably go on the field about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
2 hours.
And what does that entail though? That field session, is that doing sprints? Is it doing ball work, drills? Like what are you doing?
I'd say a mixture between drills and like full footy game plan stuff, edge v edge, that sort of thing.
Yep.
So like I said, the intensity is quite high. That's like our 2 big sessions on the field that we're sort of training at game intensity.
Yep.
It's about 2 hours, and then get off the field, have lunch, bit of a break, and then into weights.
How do you get to game intensity when you train on the field?
You do a short
entail?
stints of it. So we'll do like, I say 7 minutes where we're actually playing footy. Like the contact might be a bit less during the season, but
it's fairly.
it's
still a fair bit of contact.
Yeah,
our
no
numbers would be obviously everything's sports science now and whatnot.
Yeah.
Our numbers would be very similar to actual game day numbers. Yeah.
I remember talking to Brian Smith years ago, and what they did was and this is again the early stages of this whole
Professionalism,
professional revolution.
Yeah.
And to try and replicate game intensity at their ball work sessions, they all had their GPS monitors on, which got their heart rate, and the trick was basically to get the heart rate above what their game heart rate
Threshold, yeah.
would normally be, and then they would do a 5 or 7 minute drill at that speed with the heart rates that high, which that's how they did. Is that how you guys still do it, or has it changed?
I think they measure a thing called meters a minute these
Okay.
days. So it's like, I don't know the numbers exactly, but say you're running 100 meters a minute in a game, you probably want to hit that at training, or even higher.
Yeah,
Like the preseason's all about training higher than the game.
yeah,
Obviously, you get to a game and it's going to be not as hard. So
yeah.
yeah, I feel like the sports scientists have those numbers, and these days with the figures you can get, it's it's quite easy to replicate an actual game.
Because the old days, like Gus, probably the best example. His nickname's Gus because it was "Get on the Bus, Gus" from the Simon and Garfunkel song, where they were on a long road run, and he thought, "Bugger this," and got
And
the
get on the
bus, got the bus home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how he got his
Actually,
nickname.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
That's how he
Okay,
got his
okay.
nickname. Yeah,
No way.
Get on the
Well,
bus,
there's
Gus.
a few other nicknames for Gus, yeah.
There is too.
Without a doubt.
But but
That's
We
unreal.
won't go there.
but that's how he got his. But like those you just can't survive like that, can you?
Yeah, as I said, the game's too hard to not be training super hard. So yeah, we definitely train very hard.
Do you find guys that still try to take shortcuts?
Not at our club, no. You
No?
wouldn't last.
Oh, they'll find them. They'll catch them.
You'd be held
Yeah.
accountable, and we've got a really good culture where everyone's sort of pushing each other to work hard, which is a pretty cool thing to be
Yeah.
part of.
Yeah.
So you go through that session, and that's like, and when you say edge on edge, that's essentially, is that an attacking sort of drill? Is that to work on your attack or defence? Or
Probably
is it
both. I'd
they
say most things
work
are
at the
both
same
sided.
time?
Yep.
So the left edge will play the right edge, and you'll run your plays against them.
Yep.
And the other edge will just basically communicate and
Yep.
talk about how to shut it down. If they already know the plays, though, wouldn't they be able to sort of cheat and get ahead? Or what?
We have
how do
the
you-
reserve grade boys who obviously train as the other team all
Yeah.
week, so they'll be doing their plays
Yeah.
against us most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's
Is there much difference there, though? Because I imagine Ciraldo is one of those coaches that likes the whole thing to go through the first grade strategy or their philosophy to go through the whole club all the way down. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, our
Yeah.
reserve grade boys, value the same things, and they're awesome. I mean, you can't play good on the weekend if those boys aren't training good against you and
Yeah.
getting the plays on. But like you said, it is a challenge to obviously have one system and then you got to play someone else's at training. So obviously early in my career I was doing that a bit. So it's definitely a challenge.
So when you you go through a session and a meeting, the video on the same day.
Yeah.
So is that before or after the field session?
Could be both. There's some days we'll do video after as well.
Yeah.
Most boys watch the video on their phones and that after training too, just to see what we're doing. And
yeah.
a lot of video these days.
So you video the training session too?
Yeah, everything's videoed. Yeah.
What do you get out of that?
I don't know. It's good to visualize. Like if we practicing something that we think is going to work on the weekend, if you can watch it again, I feel like personally I really like it to get in your mind what's going to work, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So say you execute a play that on the weekend you think is going to work. It's probably good to watch that again just to reinforce it in your mind. So I feel like you get a lot out of watching yourself train, which it sounds a bit vain, but
well,
it definitely helps.
No, it works.
Yeah.
But that's another one. Canterbury's a club. I remember talking to a coach at Canterbury. It was Des when he was there, and he had guys, and he brought in the iPads for everybody.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had to. So they would film things, and the players would have to watch. Obviously, back there,
Watch himself.
training session. This is what you did well. This is what you did poorly, and they get sent their clips of their game performance and things like that. And again, I think an example of how the club has grown, certainly, if not the game itself, is a lot of those blokes, in the end, they were just like, mate, just give me the shits, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm watching all this video, and they didn't like it. So, but what they didn't know was Des had something in the computer system that he could see if they'd watched it or not. Right, so guys weren't watching it. So in the end, they soon got a
The
bollocking
nutty
over
professor.
that.
Yeah.
But then what happened was they'd just sit there and they'd put a movie on. While they put the movie on, they'd have the iPad next to them. They
And
just
he'd know.
press play on, and he couldn't tell. But
I couldn't tell you.
he couldn't tell
Yeah.
because whether I watched it or not. But it came through that they'd watched it. But
That's
the thing
the
about
best.
that again is the game has just moved beyond. Like if you're going to take that approach to your footy, you just don't get there anymore, do you?
Yeah, you're right. And Ciro's talked about it before about getting guys to the club that love footy. So I feel like that's a big thing. Like if you love footy. You're watching every game. You're learning. You want to watch video of training. Like,
Yeah.
so the Bulldogs, the sort of guys we've got, everyone, as I said, they love footy, and
They've all bought into
you don't have to
it,
force them to watch anything. Like, they're doing
Yeah.
it to get better, and that's sort of the environment you want to be in, where no one's taking shortcuts.
That's really important, right? I'm reading a book about Bill Belichick, the NFL Patriots coach, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things he's really big on.
Yeah.
Whenever he recruited a player, he said, I want blokes that love footy. And there are some guys who don't. And
Yeah.
some guys,
100%.
Terrell May basically
Come
got
out and said
risoled at the Roosters because he came out and said he doesn't really enjoy footy and he doesn't watch footy, and Origin's probably the only game he really watches. Okay. And I think, without having spoken to Trent Robinson about it, I think he's of the same philosophy. You got to love your footy. The love of footy, and this is what Belichick spoke about. The love of footy is what will make you do the extras,
Extra
and
1%.
do the stuff that do that stuff that's not required, but you feel like you want to do to get better results and to perform better. And it's the love of footy that gets you to do that. And Ciraldo, you can very much see the way he coaches. He wants those sorts of guys in his club because of that. For that reason, if not others, but for that reason, if you're going to come in and you want to win and you want to do all those extras, you want to do every little thing that's required. That's what is required. That's the sort of personality that will deliver that. Whereas the guys that don't love their footy, they'll do what basically they have to do. They don't do the extras. They don't get there early. They don't get there, stay after training. They don't go and watch other things. And even simple, like we've heard Nathan Cleary talk about this, just watching other games over the weekend. And sometimes you just see something, whether it's something that flaw in the opposition or whether it's something they've done well that you think maybe we can pick that up. Like the love of footy brings all that into your whole environment, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's probably that's the base ingredient. Like you said, loving footy. It's going to make you want to rock up the training early. And like you said, we live a pretty good life. We get to do this for a job. Like if you're watching footy on Thursday night and you're saying it's, you know what I mean? If that's too hard, it's a bit of a drama. So yeah, all the guys at our club love watching footy. I love watching like every game. And as you said, there's things you can learn from every player. So yeah, it's definitely a key ingredient.
So where did that come from though? That your love of footy, like where like you grew up where? Like talk to us about
probably
that.
my dad grew up in the Shire.
Yeah.
My dad played NRL. He played about 9 games. So
Yeah.
we're always watching footy.
Who
And
do you play for?
I played for Sharks.
Oh,
So yeah, he
okay,
played about 9 NRL games. He was a
Oh,
little
nice.
hooker. So yeah, I'd say he got
What
me
year
into
was
it.
he there?
Oh, I couldn't remember. He
Oh,
played
your
around
dad's not gonna
ET's
like this.
time.
Oh really? Well,
Yep.
it's a good time to
Okay.
be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't want to comp that.
No, didn't really go up.
So you grew up in the Shire, obviously footy, and it is particularly for Sydney, it is a big rugby league area, the Shire. You
Yeah.
know, they've got great junior systems and a lot of strong junior clubs there.
Yeah, I grew up in
Yeah.
the Shire, so played for Dealer, my junior club, and
That's ET's junior club.
yep, and then
Yeah.
just worked through the Sharks juniors. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and so just talk us through your footy then. You played juniors, like go on and get graded. How'd you go about all that? Like, were they coming after you? Were you one of those kids that everyone said, "Look, let's get on him"?
I was a
or
bit
did you have
later.
to
I
sort of
was
push?
I sort of started playing good when I got a bit older. I was pretty
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
as a younger kid. Around when I was 17, 18, I guess I was
'Cause
sort
you're a
of.
half early, weren't you?
I was a
Yeah.
5'8", yep.
5'8",
So
yeah.
I was playing 20s for Sharks, a few years young.
yeah,
So played Australian schoolboys, and that was sort of a good year for me. And
yeah. Well, would have been.
but then the
yeah.
year after that, I tore my ACL and didn't play for 3 years. So yeah, it was a bit of
Yeah.
a
Wow.
You've had a bugger of time,
Yeah.
haven't you?
yeah. No, I had 3 ACL tears in a row, so didn't play from 18 to 21. So yeah, it was definitely a tough time.
3-8, all on the same ACL.
Yep, all left knee. Yeah,
What's wrong with that left knee then? Like,
first 2 surgeries were no good. That's
Oh, really?
yeah.
Is that
Well,
what- okay.
yeah, I sort of got a graft. It was like a donor tendon. So
Yeah.
in hindsight, my last one I got was my own tissue, like my patella. So yeah, I'd recommend anyone
Most
gets
people
their
would
own
have given
tissue.
it away, Paul.
Yeah.
After doing 3, you would have given it away for sure.
How
Make-
tough was that to push
Yeah,
through?
good
Oh,
on you,
the
mate.
third one was tough because I'd done it twice at training. I rehabbed it
Yeah.
for 8 months, did it, rehabbed it 8 months
Wow.
again, did it again. So that last rehab was it was
Did you
filled
get any
with
games in between?
no. I
No.
was
So you actually coming back
just
from one
about to
ACL.
play.
Yeah.
Like 8 months is you normally play at 9 months.
Yeah.
So I got to 8 months twice and did it in the 8th month.
Wow.
So
Jesus.
And
Kudos to you, mate.
same did it the same way?
pretty much, yeah. I was just first one was at Sharks. I just got pushed after I passed and like a way you should never do your ACL. Like
Yeah.
like my knee obviously wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
But last one had my own tissue. Souths were really good. Rehabbed it for 15 months. It was a long rehab.
Mm.
And then started playing very poorly at the start. Built some
Yeah.
confidence up, and yeah.
Yeah.
How tough is
Credit
that
to you,
period
mate.
to go through that? Like injuries are tough, and people probably don't appreciate how tough it can be. Like that's your sort of your armor, isn't it? Your little
Yeah.
bit. And you're fit, you're healthy, you're strong. You walk through you walk through town. Physically, you're in the top like 2% of anyone you walk past. You know what I mean? Like you're at your peak physically. That whole feel good part of it helps you. But then when you get the injuries, they can really knock people around. And particularly long term injuries like you got there. Like, did your confidence of like
Like you said, I feel like the thing is you tie your identity to footy. Like
yeah.
you grow up your whole life playing footy. You obviously draw a lot of confidence from yourself from it. So when it gets taken away, yeah, it's definitely an identity thing.
Yeah.
Which of course I struggled big time. I was definitely not fun to be around in those times. I sort of took up a lot of hobbies to take my mind off it, but
Like what were you doing?
fishing a lot.
Yeah.
I bought a boat the day after I did my ACL. Yeah, I was fishing a lot. Learned the piano, like all sorts of weird things.
Wow.
Watercolored, like
Can you
painting.
play songs on piano?
I used to be able to, but I'd forget it.
So when but when you did that, like, what about your like your attitude towards footy? You know, the periods there where I don't know, where you considered sort of saying, "Look, I've had enough," or were there periods there where maybe you thought maybe the injury's going to get the better of you? Like, did your confidence get knocked around much?
Yeah, the third rehab was tough. I was like, every training session I'd be worried I was going to do it again. Like there was obviously some had to get a lot of reps in of it. But like you were talking about before, I reckon if I didn't love footy and wasn't obsessed with it, I would have given it up. Like it was a
So
tough
it's fair
road.
to say, Paul, Cameron took a risk. It was a risk
Yeah,
signing from the Sharks. And a great risk. I mean, to come off.
What's
done
worked
well.
for you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's worked very well for you.
Yeah. The dark days are there when you like. Did you have someone there to sort of talk you through things? Did you? How did you get through it? Who was your sort of person you leaned on?
Yeah, my girlfriend was really good. Obviously Hannah and my parents too. They definitely knew what I was going through and helped. But yeah, it was. I went probably the wrong way with footy. I sort of withdrew myself from the team. Like I found it too hard to watch games because I'd get too frustrated. So I was playing 20s back then. And probably withdrew myself. So nowadays, like, see this injury, it's not a major one, but I'm trying to stay like with the boys and just like real good focus on helping people. Like
that's one of the things, isn't it? Too.
Yeah.
Like one of that when you're injured, no matter what the injury is, but the longer the term injury it is, the longer you're out. The easier it is, sadly, is to feel sort of kind of isolated, not part of it.
100%.
100%. So yeah, I make a conscious effort these days of learning from that and staying involved with the boys, like they're your mates, and it's just good not to withdraw into yourself. And that's when you can.
Did you seek any professional help?
I didn't, but I probably should have. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
was probably a bit young then, but I've done like some work on myself mindset wise since then of similar things. Like you still as a footy player, you're going to go through that identity stuff.
Of course.
Good game, bad game. So
Yeah.
it's something I do sort of work on a bit.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I read a lot of books, little mindset books and
Yeah.
meditation and things like that, and it's just learning on not to judge yourself off 80 minutes a week. Like I feel like you do get judged on 80 minutes a week, but you're going to play bad throughout the year. You're going to have form slumps or whatever. So it's important just to have that identity away from footy. Have a good family life, hobbies, and just know that.
And not knowing who you are too. I imagine as you get older,
Identity,
you start to understand who you are as a man, and you understand what your values are and what you stand for, and and you can sort of then begin to put your injuries or a bad game in its place and say, look, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
But it's just something I'm going to have to deal with, and we're going to have those days, and let's move forward.
100%. You're right. As you get older and more experienced, that sort of it comes naturally. But yeah, it's always something to think about.
Is it tough though? Like you have to sort of, how do you get motivated? Like motivation, I imagine most guys you live in a world of high achievers. Okay, even to be fair, even the worst player in your club, I won't ask you to name him, but no, the worst player in your club is still in the top 1% of footballers in the country. You know what I mean? Like but to sort of be that high achiever and suddenly have to deal with these sort of things, how much of that's your mindset?
A lot of it. I think footy's 95% mindset, and getting injured's nothing different. There's going to be days that you sort of got to grit your teeth and get through, and other days you'll be feeling good. But like you said, resilience is probably the biggest thing from footy that you sort of learn about life, and I feel like that's a big one.
That's one of the truths of the game, though, isn't it? Is if you're a professional rugby league player, there is a 100% chance you will get injured.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's just a
Yeah.
fact. Like
the game.
nobody
Yeah.
gets through their career without
injury.
missing a game through injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, some obviously more serious than others. But
that's
it's 100% fact. You will get injured. So you've got to have that mindset that when it does, this is how I'm going to get through it.
Yeah.
And the only thing that changes then is the severity of the injury and how long you're on the sideline for. It's a tough thing, though.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's not many players go through a season or
Yeah.
let alone a career not getting injured.
Well,
so.
yeah, you just don't. It's
Yeah.
just you get through. You look at like I think it's Blake Brayley's up at about 160 games straight now.
Hasn't missed yet.
Yeah, he's a freak.
That's enormous.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big effort,
Yeah.
isn't it, to get through that? But but I don't know. I when you sit there in those mornings, you wake up, you just think, mate, bugger this. I'm not going to go to training today or not, rehab sort of days. How do you get out of bed for those?
Well, this one's easy. It's out for like a few weeks. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, back in the day, it is quite hard.
Yeah.
You sort of got to be grateful. You got to think, oh, you're still getting paid to be a footy player. Like I was quite lucky. I contract wise still had time with my ACLs.
Yeah.
It was real lucky how the contracts worked out. So
Mm.
I just look at it as in I'm going to train and I'm getting paid to get fit.
Yeah.
And get myself better. So there's always a bit of gratitude you can use in those moments.
Yeah.
Gratitude's the word. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
So when you go to Canterbury, then what did you find different about the club though? What's different about Canterbury than where you've been?
Yeah, probably like the professionalism. As I said,
Yeah.
it's probably bought from Critter and Cira also, just how professional everything is, and the training is just it's a real high standard. We hold ourselves to, and yeah, it definitely helps your footy.
Do they? Do you guys talk about it much? Like imagine so many new players because, correct me if I'm wrong, since 2023 when it began the revolution, there's nobody that's there from before then, is there? It's still at the
I
club.
think Max King
Oh, Max King might
is
be
the only one left. I think. Yeah,
that's right. He is, yeah.
He's the only one from 22, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, otherwise the
enormous.
roster's been turned over. So
It's a good question, because you've come from the Shire. It's the beach suburb. We know that. You've come to Belmore.
yep.
I want the supporters. They're my supporters. They're Lebanese. Tell me about them. Are they a massive part of what you're doing now? The supporters.
Yeah, they're the best in the league.
The best in the league?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like you said, when we started winning games last year and watching the streets of Belmore, you would have seen it.
Oh, they're my
Well,
people.
Even the games that we fill, we play like a Friday night game at 6 and there'll be 35,000 people. Or
Yeah.
like some of the games this year we played, Rabbitohs had 65.
I told
like,
you, Paul, that without the Lebos, mate.
It's just
the
unreal.
food. Do you like the food?
Oh, the food's unbelievable. Yeah, they come in sometimes and cook a barbecue for us, and yeah, it's pretty
Good's
good.
that? See,
Bit
Paul?
of kofta,
Yeah.
saftan.
Saftan. Tell Paul what saftan means, please, in Arabic.
Something to do with enjoy your food.
Yeah.
Is enjoy your food?
Yes. What about can we say it? Hugo? What about 80 fic? That's a nice word, isn't it? You can say that.
No, I don't think that one's too positive.
Too
But I guess,
positive? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
you get called out a bit after a bad game. So,
Yes.
yeah.
That means how do I explain that one, Paul? That means
You're going to have to, John.
that means explain it, will you, please?
No.
That means
no, you're the expert.
that means how am I going to put it in good terms? That means you've had a bad game, up yours. That's what it means. Up yours. If you have a bad game, up yours.
Oh.
How or physically, but up yours. So you love it there. Of
Yeah,
course
no,
you
it's
do.
awesome. Yeah, and the supporters, yeah, like you said, you feel them behind you, and
So it wasn't the same as the Sharks? Different?
the Sharks have a good fan base too, but probably not as
Vocal.
many and not as loud. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're very loud, Paul.
very loud. They got the drums, you
And we
can
hate
hear 'em under
and
the
we hate
stands.
losses, Paul. We hate to lose. Lebos hate to lose in anything.
How's the change in attitude going this year with you blokes? Like
Yeah.
last year was a good season.
Yeah.
But this year you got out early too and led the competition for a long while. And even now, look, you lost last weekend, which was disappointing. I'm sure, but you're still top three. You're still almost, certainly going to finish top four, and which is where that would have been the goal at the beginning of the season, to be top four. How have you felt a difference in the club this year, and how it's, I suppose, just got bigger and got that belief?
Yeah, it's pretty similar to last year. I feel like a lot of motivation was drawn from that Manly finals.
Yeah.
Losing that, it's pretty heartbreaking losing the finals game. Even
sure.
last week when we
Yeah.
versed Manly, I was still just thinking about the last time we played them. So
Yeah.
everything we've done has been to not be in that position again. So
Yeah.
even early in the year, you're just thinking about, you want to get to the September, the big games, and you want to play well and not have those things happen again. So every drill we do, every training session is about being the best we can. So when it gets to the big games, you're going to perform.
So that gets vocalised, like you speak about that loss last year, and you speak about let's not put ourselves in that position again, and like is that? It sounds like that's become a bit of a motivating theme this year. Is that right?
Yeah, we spoke about it in the preseason about
Yeah.
how we had to be better at certain things, and yeah, just like I said, every day, just the professionalism is all for the big games. Like every week is a big game. Don't get me wrong, but you just want to prepare every week and play well. So you know, in September, you're gonna come out and play well.
But what does that look like within the team? Like how do you the guys like talk to each other about, mate, come on, like you pick each other up, or you pick each other up if a guy might say do a lazy effort at training or have a poor game? Like is it like are they? How honest do you get with each other there?
Yeah, that's pretty important. Like being accountable with your teammates is
Yeah.
something we do. Of course, you're gonna get sprayed if you do something wrong, but yeah, it's all healthy and it's all for the better of the team. And I feel like in our team, you got to know sort of who's gonna cop what and what's the best way to get the best out of your teammates. I feel like that's a really important part of leadership, and yeah, it definitely happens in our team.
How robust can the discussion get when a bloke does something wrong, or a guy gives him a bit of a spray? How heavy does it get?
Yeah, it can be pretty. The Bulldogs is all right, but I've preferred some bad ones in my time. But yeah, it can be pretty brutal.
Who takes that on? Whose job's that at Canterbury?
All the leaders are pretty good, but as I said, it's a lot. Our chat's very positive.
Who's your leaders there?
Critter, Kicks, all the Kurt Man, senior guys, Reed.
Leadership.
I'd say they're our main leaders. Yeah.
Yeah, and do they get into a bloke like they say, babe, what's that about? Like, what are you doing here? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, if something's not in the system or not what we do or what we value, and they go outside the system, they'll definitely get talked to. But I feel like everyone at our club knows the system so well and knows your job so well that they're going to know they did that anyway. So you can tell them, but most of the time they're going to know before.
We've all played with that bloke, right, in the side who, for whatever reason, just thinks he can do what he wants to do. And, the guy that chips over the top when no one else knows it's got to happen and stuff like that.
Got a free reign, yeah.
Like, those guys, and everyone's just like, mate, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what are you, like, this is what we're trying to set up, and you've gone and chipped over the top, or you thought you were going to throw a cutout, or you've taken the ball out to the edge when we're trying to work to the post or something like that. Like, you guys, I imagine from what I'm hearing, that just is just getting. There's no one at Canterbury that does that anymore.
Yeah,
those guys have been moved on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think they'd last too long in our team. But same time, if someone's taking a risk to, I don't know, do a good attacking play, you're going to cop it. But you don't want to be out of the system too much.
Yeah, I can imagine that. The game against the Tigers. One thing that's come out of that, a couple of people got this sort of idea that Canterbury struggle with wet weather football, which could, if it's true, and it can be like
that is true.
You haven't, you haven't played well, have you, in wet weather?
Yeah.
How do you fix that? Because there's no guarantee what grand final day is going to look like. It might be pouring rain.
Yeah, no, it's true. The rainy games this year we haven't played well. So it's definitely something. We've got review tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think it is though? Like, what is that? Like,
I
sort of think whether you. To me, when you played West, it looked like you're sort of trying to play dry weather football in wet weather.
Yeah.
You're still just throwing passes and being fairly expansive in your footy.
Yep.
But when you've got a wet footy, you've got a greasy track that you're running on, you're slipping. That just brings this whole sort of edge of uncertainty to it, and it's a lot of drop ball, a lot of failure to complete, which then obviously brought the Tigers back into it. They just went out with an effort game.
It's very hard to prepare for something like that, Paul, unless it's been raining all week. Then you can go out in the paddock and train in those conditions. But when you haven't trained in those conditions, it's very difficult, mate.
I get that.
To prepare for a game like that.
The flip side, though, to it is, and given the preparation that they do these days, the flip side is sometimes you've got to rein in your footy. You've got to be a little bit more careful in attack. You've got to be a little bit more like subdued, like just take less risk, just be a little bit more basic, just hit ups, try and get through your sets, good kicking game, just put it down the corners and rely on them to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that game started, Tigers started with a mistake. It looked like you guys were going to go all right then, but then all of a sudden Tigers, I think they came with effort.
You can in that
which sort of surprised Canterbury a little bit. But by the same token, Canterbury just were making some mistakes that were just like, dry weather probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But wet weather, I just thought they hadn't tried to rein in, or you guys hadn't tried to rein in your footy in any capacity. You just kept playing like it was 28 degrees and sunny. You know,
It was Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, it was Sunday afternoon, but it was just pouring rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I feel like it is the errors. We've made too many errors, and it slows the game down. But yeah, it's hard to say stop making errors because no one's meaning to. So
and it puts that little thing in your brain too. Like it's almost like don't think of the pink elephant straight away. What do you think of?
Yeah,
so
but it's like you said,
subconsciously
it's probably reining it in a bit, and just you got to have some individual ownership on sort of not making errors, and that's definitely something we do have to work on.
Yeah, it's something, but it's about playing differently too. That's the thing. Like
Did West play different, Paul?
No, I don't think. Well, West did, but and look, I don't want to sit here and be critical, but a lot of their tries were sort of just individual effort tries. Okay.
Turnovers and drop balls,
but Canterbury didn't help themselves either.
No,
that's the thing.
I agree.
But my point's not so much about losing to the West Tigers. It's about going ahead.
And
like I said, it could be pouring rain grand final day, and you don't want to. Bulldogs certainly don't want to go into the grand final day thinking, "Shit, we haven't played well at all this year in the rain." Because that's going to have a bad thing to have in the back of your mind. You almost need another rainy day to go out and play well in, just to sort of have that confidence that we can do it if it comes up.
I think Paul's you've planted the seed with Cameron. Put your sprinklers on a trainer. There you go.
Well,
put the sprinklers on and start.
As you know,
Warren Ryan used to do that.
He used to sit there with a soapy bucket.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Yeah,
just in case.
Put the ball in a soapy bucket. Now, okay, go and run your set through this with the soapy balls and stuff because. Yeah, that sounds awful, but go through your sets with that. Okay.
I agree. Sounds funny,
just
but
to try and get acclimatised to a little bit of grease on the ball, a little bit of slipperiness and things like that. Like it's worth.
No, I've had that before. I've had the soapy bucket come out before.
Yeah?
I don't know if it was at the Bulldogs, but I've definitely had that. Yeah. It's like playing in Townsville. I would say
with the sweat.
Yeah, Townsville's the ball's always so slippery. Yeah.
Oh, because of the sweat. And all that,
prepare you up. That's what Paul's saying. Prepare for the match. Yeah.
So what happens with the Bulldogs now? Like, do you think between here and the finals, the end of the season? Like what changes as far as your preparation? Like, at what point does Ciraldo go, okay, boys, we're going to make the finals. We're going to start getting like this semi-final footy mindset, whatever. Like, do things change? Do you think things change there?
Probably everything will stay exactly the same, which is sort of it's why it's good. Every game we prepare the same. So you go into a game really knowing what to expect. But like you said, we've got a real tough schedule back end of the year. We've got 4 games at the end. We play Storm, Panthers, Sharks, so it's going to be really good for us to get a test to see where we're at and prepare for those big games.
It's going to be tough though, isn't it? So that's a tough run to go into the finals with. In some ways, it could be good. You get.
I feel like it's good for you. Yeah, I feel like it is. Yeah.
Well, it is. You like it, one respect, you're battle hardened.
Absolutely.
But you've got to get through it in good shape.
Yeah.
You don't want to go through it having lost all 3
for sure.
Because then you sit down and think, oh Jesus, we're going into the finals time now. We're playing the same teams. But you get through it in good shape. It leaves you in a good place.
100%, yeah. So I feel like that's going to be a good thing and a good test back into.
You got to welcome it. You got to welcome it.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
How do you welcome it though?
Well, you got to prepare proper. There's a lot of. I'm sure Cameron. I've got a few ideas, but I'm not going to. Yeah, but I'm sure Cameron's got a few ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you prepare for it? Well, you just. That's the coaches.
But as a player, any top 4 game you play,
that's why he's the coach.
It's exciting. Yeah, you're always
up
for it.
Paul, you said earlier about Connor, you said earlier, you prepare like the same every week, but once you get to the semis, it's a total different competition.
Yeah.
So he's going to prepare. He's going to
brings an edge to it too, though.
It does. Yeah.
Once you start getting, particularly after that first week.
Yeah.
But you get that once you've lost your second chances, every game's a big game.
It's a pressure game.
You know what I mean? And every game, every opponent's a good opponent. It's not like you're playing a game that you think, well, we should get this today. Every game is a little bit of luck here or there can really have an impact on the result. But
I'm going to ask a stupid question here. Do you fear anyone? Because I think I know what you're going to say. Do you fear any team in the competition?
No, I wouldn't say we'd fear any team. We're confident in our game that, if we get our best game on, I don't think,
That's a good answer.
What makes you think that, though? What's in Canterbury's game that makes you think you can beat the other teams you're going to play?
Every team, yeah.
I feel like we're a tough team to play. I feel like we base our game on effort, and that's sort of a fault-proof sort of game to play in big games.
It's a key ingredient.
Yeah, it's a key ingredient that you can sort of every week know that you're going to go out, and if you're basing your game on effort, individual game and as a team, it's going to be a confident feeling for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine that. Yeah, Burton's kicking game helps, doesn't it?
And we got a cheat code with Burton's kicking game.
Yeah.
You got to what's
A
that?
cheat code here is a bit of a
Yeah.
cheat there on the left edge.
Yeah,
How
he's
far I
handy
can
to have,
kick it.
isn't he?
Yeah.
The but do you have to play those teams differently? Like when you
Yeah.
play Melbourne, then you're going to play, say, Canberra, or you play, less Penrith. Okay, Penrith. I imagine there's a lot of similarities when you play Penrith about
Yeah.
the way you guys are doing things and the way they're doing things.
Yeah. Well, we saw a few weeks ago it was the defensive system is pretty similar. Chris Cameron was there, and we both play pretty similar styles of games. That was why that was such a good game a few
what a
weeks
game
ago.
that was, Paul.
Yeah.
The turning point was the charge down by Cleary.
Yeah.
What a game. That was high intensity. Oh, mate, that was a great game.
Yeah, that was
But
a
that's
finals
That
like
was the
game.
semi-final
But
football.
that's the anomaly in what they're trying to do with the game now.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to open it up and want
Yeah.
more tries and all this.
Nah,
And most people
two good teams together.
though have said that game, and if you ask good judges now, what's the best game you've seen this year? Was
It
that
was
game?
that game.
What was it? 10-8 or something?
Well,
8-6.
8-6.
Yeah.
There you go.
Charge down to Cleary.
8-6 was the result.
Yeah.
And it was a great game of footy. It was intense and it had consequences. Every action on the field had consequences because the scoreline was so tight, which brought an intensity and
A reaction, yeah.
an edge to the game, which brought interest to it. But when you play these teams, how different are they to play against? How much differently do you have to prepare?
For the
Is there a
top
lot?
teams?
Yeah.
Well, the game plan always differs slightly
Yeah.
in certain tactical things, what edges you're going to attack, but our game style stays pretty similar.
Yeah.
No matter who you play, but
But is there a difference between, say, preparing for Melbourne than there is for, say, Penrith?
yeah, like just subtly. So the main things of how we play will stay the same, but it's more so any weaknesses of theirs will change.
Yeah.
What we want to attack, and there's definitely different like game plan, focus points each week. So I'd say
Yeah.
it differs a bit, but the overall sort of mentality would be similar.
So when you say focus points, is that like sort of if you bring us into the team? Is that like, okay, we're playing Melbourne this week. This is how we're going to try and score against them, or is this what we're going to? Is this we need something they need to attack, or you need to attack to try and weaken one of their strengths? Which I know, like some teams have this mentality that they'll pick the big dog in the opposition and just relentlessly attack him to sort of try and break down the confidence of the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Which that's a subtle thing, but it does happen in the game. Like, what changes from, say, a preparation to beat Melbourne than, say, Penrith, like as far as tactically where you're sitting there?
Yeah, it's probably like you said, focusing on different players and their strengths, and that's a big part of the video you do is on the other team, right? So
Yeah.
I'd say it is different in that you're going to watch video of all these different players. The players are sort of similar. Each
Yep.
team runs similar plays, but yeah, like I said, it's just more so the different players, different threats. When you play Cleary, you're going to do a lot of video on him and
Yeah.
sort of how to shut him down. And
How do you shut him down?
I don't know.
Just ask Billy Slater.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Give nothing.
Connor, when an opposing team comes to play the Bulldogs, what does Cameron Ciraldo want from the Bulldogs? There you go. That's the question I want to ask you. What does he expect?
I'd just say 100% effort. That's we base our game on fitness and just, if you come off the field as a player, as a team, saying you've done your best, and it sounds simple, but that's sort
He
of all
expects
you can
nothing
do.
less.
Yeah, nothing less than just 100% commitment and 100% effort.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Well, if you get that, you can't ask for more.
You can't ask for
Yeah.
more. And a
that's the
kicking game,
truth of
Paul.
it.
What more do you want? I mean,
Yeah, but
you're in the game.
If guys are just having a crack,
Yeah, that's.
I know, like it sounds too simple, but
Yeah, it does, but
it does. But
But that is the
Yeah.
game.
I imagine there's nothing more disappointing though for a coach than to just think these guys just didn't have a go to
So
them.
don't think.
Yeah.
I
And
don't-
they don't not try at all,
no,
but they just don't get to the required effort that they
100%.
need
I
to
honestly
to
don't
get
think
to.
yous have let Cameron down all year. I don't think they have. Maybe a bit of a hiccup on the weekend, but I think they've played really tough and
Well,
strong
they
all year.
play. There's nothing wrong with their effort.
So he's got to.
Nothing wrong with the
He's got
effort,
to
it's
be.
just
He's got
the
to be impressed
execution.
all year, hasn't he, Cameron?
Yeah.
He cannot be disappointed.
No,
That's all you can ask.
well, that's a fair call.
Yeah,
But he's going to want to win the comp this year. I imagine this year.
it's a failure, is it?
Well, I'm saying. Well, I tend to think it will be, John. I don't think if
Okay.
Canterbury don't win the comp this year, I don't think Cameron Ciraldo sits back and looks at it as a good year. As a
Well, that'll be the other 8
successful year.
coaches that make the
I
semi-finals.
don't think he does though. No, because I think such as the improvement in Canterbury this year, and how well they go, they are genuine premiership.
Such is the
They are-
expectation.
Yeah, well,
okay.
you're a genuine
Especially top
premiership
four.
threat.
Top four,
okay.
you got to be.
You're not like but it's not like they fall into the top 4. Yeah, we had a good year.
By
We finished
default.
top
Yeah,
4.
yeah, I agree.
They've had such a good year. They've shown they're capable of winning it. And when you know you can win it and you put yourself in the position to win it.
So advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Look, anything can happen, okay? Anything can happen
absolutely.
game day.
If you believe you can.
But
yeah.
the fact is also, but anything can happen to make you lose the game. And referee can get going on a 9-run penalty count against you, which we've seen this year in other games.
No,
And that
have you
just
really?
but that just takes you out of the game, okay?
It does.
But what I'm saying is Canterbury are at a position
And
this
history
year.
will tell you, in the semi-finals, there's no big penalty counts. So I think the best teams win, Paul.
But my point is, Canterbury, they are a genuine premiership
One-
threat. So if there's not a,
I believe they are, yeah.
if you get to the end of the year and you're having Christmas dinner and you're sitting there and you're thinking, mate, we came this close,
Not good enough.
it's got to be a disappointment,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like when the top 4 is sort of a bit like that, but like I said at the
Yeah,
moment,
they're tough to beat.
every
Like,
every
there's no
time round.
expectation.
Tough to
but,
win. Oh,
but certainly that's the goal. Like, you're not sitting there thinking, no one at the club would say top 4 was good enough.
no.
Yeah, no, that is the goal. And like I said, at training, you train so hard for that reason. Like, it's not like you have no goal in mind. Like, that's the goal for sure.
Yeah.
That's the goal every year. But especially this year, you don't want to get to the off season and go, oh, I should have done more at training to
Yeah,
play.
exactly,
So I didn't play
exactly.
bad in that big game. Like,
yeah.
you want to just train so hard and play so well every week that
Yeah.
come big game, it's just what you do.
Yeah, and the expectation is let's do everything we need to give ourselves no excuses game day, clearly.
100%, yeah.
But by the same token, the expectation is this is the year you win the comp.
Yeah, it's a pretty big expectation, I'd say. But we haven't
Well, it
talked
is.
too much
Yeah,
about that internally.
But it's a reality, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's not just, like I said, top 4 is not going to be accepted as good enough
No.
this
for
year.
sure.
If you're good enough to get
Yeah?
there. you're
3
good
years
enough to
ago,
win.
you would have said yes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Even last year, the way we began last year,
Yeah.
you would have said top 4. Yeah, that'd be a great result.
Yeah.
This year, given the way the season's panned out, I don't think that's been going to be. Mate, we did well. We finished third, and
No, they're going to be tough.
we
You-
came close, but we.
Yeah, for sure.
It's to win the comp this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely the goal.
And if you don't win the comp, I'm sorry to say, Connor, the Lebo supporters, mate, they're dangerous. They're very
Yeah,
dangerous.
stay away from Belmore for a while.
This is the best part of the show. Now, be ready for this. I've got
This is
3
Johnny's
good
moment.
questions.
Segment.
This is my segment, mate.
This is his thing.
So you've been at Souths, you've been to the Sharks, and now you're at the Bulldogs. You can name any one of these players. Who's the biggest pest?
Oh, the biggest pest.
It could be opposition players as well, but predominantly, who's the biggest pest you played with?
Played with.
Come on, Connor.
No, I'm just
You can
thinking.
give him
This is
up,
a
come
tough
on.
one.
Tell us.
Sounds like there's
Probably
a few.
Reed. Reed's a bit of a.
Reed Martin.
Reed
Reed's
Martin.
been
Bit of a
before,
pest.
Paul?
Yeah.
Who'd he say? That'd
No,
be-
someone said him. I think Jacob might have said him. But
Oh,
Reed
there you
Martin
go.
plays like a pest. That's his
Carraz
personality.
said Reed. Yeah.
Reed, yeah.
Oh, well, there you
Jacob
go.
said Reed.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's Reed Martin.
Yep.
Why? Tell us.
Nah, he's just one of those funny guys to have around the team.
Reed was stuck for an answer.
He's like, oh, there's no pest.
No pest.
Yeah, what do you
You said
mean?
he's the pest. You said Reed was the best. Who's the funniest of all the clubs you've been to?
The funniest?
Yeah.
Probably Josh Curran. He's pretty funny.
Is he? The
Yeah.
Bulldogs. Okay, tell
Yeah,
us
he's-
why.
Oh,
Give
he's
us
just.
something.
Addo Carr.
No, Josh Curran.
Josh Curran.
Oh, just Curran. Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
That's
He's just funny. Just how
Is
he
he?
sort
Sense
of.
of humour.
Yeah, he's pretty carefree and yeah, he's just a funny guy to
Good,
be
yeah,
around.
good to have around the
Yeah.
club. Yeah, great.
You
to have
need
around
him, mate.
He's my roomie too, so yeah.
Oh,
Gives me
he's
some
your
good
roomie,
laughs
there
for
you
the
go.
games.
Good to have around the club.
Yeah.
At training, as you know, there's a mirror there, okay? There's a mirror. You look at that
Oh,
mirror.
yeah.
Who loves to
Oh, I've
look
got
in
your
the
answer
mirror?
already. Jamin Salmon.
He's been known before.
He's been known before, and he's dyed
He's
his
in the
hair.
mirror with his hair like this.
All the time.
Yeah, he loves
Yeah.
it.
Do you think when he got the hair bleached and he sort of
Yeah.
made out that, I was an accident,
Yeah, the-
he was secretly hoping
Yeah,
for it,
we
He
had
wasn't
a
wanted to do it,
dice
didn't he?
roll and he got.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have to
he?
bleach my hair.
Oh,
It was
me,
pre-planned. It was pre-planned.
Yeah.
It was pre-planned.
There's no doubt he was just
Okay.
dying. He was
Okay.
dying for that one to come up, wasn't he?
It's been a great show, Paul.
Yeah, mate. Look, I know. So when do you think? Just quickly before we go, when are you back? What game are you?
Couldn't tell you
anticipating?
exactly what game, but I won't miss too many more. Hopefully,
That's
so,
good to hear.
next
yeah.
few
Supporters
games.
want to know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to know.
Yeah, and when you come back, it'll be one of those things. It'll be just like a, normal, say Cork thigh. Once the tissue heals, it's all good. You're back to 100% again.
Yeah, I'll be sweet.
Not like
Ready
that
to go
dodgy
for the
knee.
back end. No, yeah, that's it.
All right, mate. I want to thank you for coming. I really
Been great.
appreciate it, mate. And good luck with everything this year. And you guys are right in the fight. So thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Connor,
Thank you.
thank you, mate.
Thank you, boys.
On behalf of the Lebos, mate, good on your son.
Oh, good.